Is it rude or is it like rude because I said it?
Hey y'all, welcome to Bunny Talks. My name is Princess Panigo. So today we're talking Jackie Aina because Jackie is trending and she is on our lips. Now, why is Jackie trending? Jackie, according to her, feels like, this bunch of five individuals, there are five creators that are doing the most, and she, decided to speak on it, and that was what, bettered this online brouhaha, as we would call it in Nigeria, that's going on right now. Brouhaha, that is the proper way of saying it. So Jackie Aina made this video while she was doing a, getting ready, and she mentioned some names, and those individuals also came outside to reply Jackie Aina, and then the reaction of people. I have all of this video for you guys. Let's go watch, and I'll be right back.
I be seeing discourse on here. Most times I do not participate because why would I? But currently, discourse taking place about a group of TikTok creators that I personally have had like not great experiences with. And it like recently dawned on me that like all of these creators are friends. And from what I've seen, the general discourse around these specific creators is that basically they give bully. Now, I am not a fan of dogpiling on creators because I understand how it feels to be dogpiled on. And even if I'm not a fan of someone or their content, I never want to be a contributing factor to that. However, because I have a lot of followers, I do feel like I'm oftentimes like unfairly held to a higher standard. And that reason alone really keeps me from being candid and sharing a lot of, I would say, like vulnerable experiences as a creator. So as you may or may not know, because most of y'all don't let me forget it, a couple months ago, y'all dragged me for filth, accusing me of blocking people because they were congratulating. Like, I laugh because it's so stupid. Like, before we even move past that, I need y'all to start, for those of y'all that still are like talking about that, because there's a lot of y'all that still like to talk about that. That never happened. I need to hold your hand. Hold on. I'm going to hold your hand gently before we move on for the rest of the story, and remind you that that quite literally never happened, just so we're clear. So basically, I was accused of going on a mass blocking spree. There was one particular creator that was in this group that's currently being discussed right now. And I'm not even gonna hold you. I could not tell you this lady's name. The only thing I know about her is that she has light skin and she kind of looks like Taraji P. Henson. Do whatever with that information that you will. She basically told her audience that I blocked her after she made a video defending me. She had, I guess, defended me, like basically said something along the lines of like, know how Jackie get down? Like, that's just who she is. Da, 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 da. And then came back to her platform and said, Jackie blocked me? I was defending her. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Well, I know y'all know who I'm talking about because there was like a few people when this all circulated that were particularly louder about this whole Jackie Aina blocked me situation. That never happened. But I digress. Now, what that creator failed to tell y'all was that, yeah, I blocked her 3 months before that exchange. I'm laughing now, but it's really not actually funny. She would come up on my timeline and she was commentary. I would occasionally engage with the content, scroll on, keep it pushing until I saw something that I didn't like. It was definitely something about me specifically. She was making fun of me. Like, there's really no other way to say it. And I blocked her. So I want you guys to just follow what I'm saying, because I don't know if you've picked up on like what I'm implying. This creator, in the midst of me getting obliterated for going on a alleged mass blocking spree, in order to give legitimacy to this, she made a video defending me and told her audience I blocked her in response to that, but failed to tell y'all that she had already been blocked for months. Do you see what? And I know that a lot of you guys are not gonna like that I'm saying this, but if you know the creator that I'm talking about, understanding what she looks like, how she's gonna be perceived, and then looking at me and how I'm most times typically perceived. The moment a woman like her says, Jackie, I know the big scary, she blocked me, y'all. Like, I was so nice to her, she blocked me. Can you believe it, guys? She blocked me. You knew that that was gonna be believable coming from you, and you posted that content anyway. You knew it would do numbers. I don't know, I just find that particular method of like handling your platform kind of cruel. And this was also the same lady who had no problem like making jokes about me and age shaming me when I was talking about the auntie discourse. Now, I know a lot of people really don't understand. Like, if you've never been adultified as a young girl or parentified really young, you're not gonna get why I have really visceral reactions to like showing up online as everybody's mom and auntie. Like, it's just not for me. I was really vulnerable when I shared the reasons why I no longer aligned with being talked to about that. I feel like it really humanized me, you know? And honestly, I don't even think I really needed to share that information. I really didn't. And this same particular creator, not only her, but another girl in the same little friend group that y'all are discussing right now, basically just made videos making fun of it. Like, I don't know, like like literally age shaming me and making fun of it. I think it's a little bit weird that there's always this layer of like everybody online is fake, no one's real anymore. But the moment I really open up and I shared something really vulnerable, and to have like a group of creators just like make fun of that, I just need to remind other adults, when you don't have a rapport with someone, the joke, like when there's no like level of community, or if you have never supported this person before, then you turn on your camera to make fun of them when they're being like really vulnerable, the joke's not gonna be funny. Like, it's just, I think as adults, we all understand like how relationships work. And if there isn't one, then you're gonna get blocked. Like, another creator that's in this group saying that I blocked her in response to her saying that my perfume bottles were ugly. And I don't know what she's talking about. Never saw that piece of content. But you told on yourself. Don't know what you're talking about. I block you for other reasons. The content creators who just come up on here and yap, like serial yapper, and it's like a new flavor of the week. I feel like the quality in the content lacks when you always just want to talk about anyone and everyone all the time. And like I said, it just recently dawned on me that there's just like a clique of creators on this app that I've had negative experiences with, and they're all friends. So it's like, okay, now it makes sense. There's other creators that I've never interacted with, that I know of, that have me blocked, that are in this said clique. And I'm like, isn't that what y'all criticize me? Okay. Whenever I've seen them make videos about me specifically, they usually don't outright say negative things. They tend to do a lot of dog whistling. So what they like to do is say just enough to like get their audiences to kind of like do the shit talking for them. And their entire comment section just basically turns into an environment shitting on me. I personally don't respect that. So the question is whether or not these creators are bullies. I mean, I personally don't know. Like, I don't know what else you would call that, because some of the creators in this particular group have made several, and I mean like several different types of videos about me, and have fostered these comment sections to just basically have people go in on me. I don't know. If that's not bullying, then what is? Because I've been called much worse for doing much less, and sometimes for doing nothing at all. So, and you're probably gonna ask, okay, so why are you telling us this? Because honestly, I want to be left alone. Like, I really actually wish this group of creators would do what I do to them and just ignore me. When I tell y'all, I'll just be here for the content. And when you continue to see the same group of grown adults amplify your potential downfall every chance they get, it starts to feel like, okay, we get it. We freaking get it, okay? Damn. Definitely don't think you should dogpile them. There's no call to action. If you know who I'm talking about, don't be weird. Don't do to them what they can't give me the courtesy and respect to not do to me. I want no parts in that, and I'm not encouraging that. And in fact, I'm asking, if you watch this video, please don't do that. Just rightfully really tired of seeing the same people get away with poor behavior over and over and over again. And honestly, do I expect anybody to respond to this? No. Do I expect a civil resolution? I'm gonna say no. Do I expect a respectful discourse after sharing this? Not at all, actually, sadly. But I'm just like really tired of creators not holding themselves to the same standard they hold me to. It's getting old. And after a while, one can only really tolerate so much. Anyway, this message may or may not self-destruct later on. But please keep it civil in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
And I do want to take responsibility. The part about the bottles being ugly, that was me. But I think you left out the full sentence. I said, the bottles are ugly. They look like they are from Ross. I know that because I be in Ross, but the perfume smells very, very good. It does. Great product. I'm a perfume girl. Well, and I'll take it a step further. I'm sorry. I apologize for saying the bottles were ugly.
I do want to offer an apology because I think it's only fair. I do want to apologize for the perception of how I engaged with you online. I think it's, like I said, because I am a avid curse word user.
It's
My
off-putting.
commentary, my commentary can be very abrasive, especially if somebody, you know how you ever meet a girl and she's like, don't call me bitch. It's like you don't have that banter with them. It's like, okay, you're one, you don't really, you don't like to play like that. And that's cool. You know, I don't know you personally. And so I recognize that, you know, watching those videos can be a little bit off-putting at face value. But I think if you take another look at it from a different lens, and consider that that's just how I speak about everybody and about everything, then you'll understand that nothing I said was personal. But, you know, I do want to still apologize for the way that it came across, because clearly it affected you in some kind of way. Those were not my intentions, but
impact over intentions.
Impact
we
over
take
intent.
full responsibility for whatever feelings we stirred up in you, and hopefully we can resolve them and come to a resolution. First impressions are anything, but second impressions make the world go round. So if you are interested in discussing, talking, making amends, we're open, we're here. We do not plan on talking about this on TikTok, simply because I'm very interested in proving you wrong in terms of not having, what you say, the respectful, I didn't remember the line, Jamila, sorry.
A civil resolution.
A civil resolution.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to aid and abet in too much mess. Now, I'll be honest, I'm a yapper. Jamila has a lot. I also do have a lot going for myself, but I did build my platform on giving my opinions on pop culture, celebrity, and what's going on. And I'm okay. I own it. It's nothing that, if that is said about me, I feel ashamed of. I have amassed almost 1 million off of giving my opinions. People care about what I have to say. And I can understand when someone else with a sizable platform has people saying things and agreeing with them, and they're not, you don't see them as favorable towards you. It is off-putting, and you feel like, okay, girl, I don't fuck with you. And that is not the case. That was never my intention. And I'm also, like I said, open to changing my thoughts. I encourage my followers to do this all the time, and I will take responsibility at the top, because it was a couple years ago when Jackie first asked us to stop calling her auntie, which I never called her auntie, because I was like, I actually call older people auntie, and I don't see Jackie as old, right? I was like, what's the big deal? And slowly, as we creep towards 30, in real time, it's on TikTok. I see where Jackie was coming from. You bitches trying to be shady. I don't think it's a big deal, but I see where she was coming from. You bitches trying to be fun with it, right? It's not a term of endearment when you're trying to dunk on someone for their age. And so, we can beat a dead horse. But again, we apologize for whatever feelings our content has stirred up in you. And like I said, I won't be talking about it on TikTok.
Yeah, this is, I'm not going to drag this, because this is as much as I want you to know that, considering we got on our podcast and have now been talking for 30 minutes, that actually shows how much we respect you, because I don't ever give nobody no attention.
Let me tell you something. What you said at the beginning, Jackie is a pioneer. We would be remiss if we didn't say she has opened doors for girls like us. I don't do makeup content. I don't do beauty content. But I was a kid on YouTube at a time where there were not a lot of Black women to look at, if any at all. But there was Jackie.
Right.
And we are not people who are not going to give motherfuckers their tens. And Jackie, I'm not calling you a motherfucker. That's just how I talk. We are giving you your tens right now. You are a pioneer. You are an OG. I mean that with the utmost respect. I'm from California. And when I say you are a YouTube OG, you did this so that we can do this now. People are walking on the path that you literally carved. So thank you. Also, thank you for that.
And with that, I wanted to also be known that, because we revere you as a pioneer, I think it's also important that, even though I am offering apologies and I'm saying, there's intent over impact, I want you to reflect as well. I don't think it's fair for you to be able to say any and everything. Nobody is above critique, and neither are you. I want you to still sit back and reflect. And be honest with yourself about how this came about, because there are apologies to go around. And just as you have built a career and a brand off of being a beauty influencer, me and Mecca are on our way to doing the same things. We are building brands and building businesses based off of coming up off of this here TikTok app. And hopefully you know, and not even hopefully, we will, you know, continue to grow and blossom and hope to gain a different level of success based off of the following that we have, you know, developed organically through this app. We have created a following, and that following, they engage with us, and they like our content, and I know you understand what that's like to want to make your supporters proud of you, and to want to continually drop content that you feel makes sense for you. And I'm going to continue to do what I've always been doing, and I hope that you can understand where we're coming from with that.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks for listening to this special episode of Unhinged Immoral. Tap in every Thursday. I'm Mecca, known as Mecca Belly on TikTok and anything else.
I'm Jamila.
And y'all have a great rest of your day.
Yeah. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you are online selling lifestyle content, we have the right to critique your lifestyle. Because you're selling it to us. Who are you selling it to? C'est pour qui est? C'est pour qui est? C'est pour nous. C'est pour nous. Yeah. So if you're selling lifestyle content, if you're making lifestyle content, and if you're, you know, the overconsumption, the consumption, everything, the makeup, the wardrobe, the hair, we have the right to critique it. I'ma hold your hand while I tell you that. So stop coming to complain about the critiques. They are valid. Thank you. Just like our coins are valid. Thank you.
I think that Jackie Aina thinks because she shoots high quality think pieces that her think pieces aren't the same in what she's trying to combat or talk about in that video. She tried to say that a lot of their videos use dog whistles and referenced in colorism. And it's just like, girl, I think you're doing the exact same thing. At the end of the day, a think piece is a think piece. Just because you record on a camera, chop it up, and put it on TikTok doesn't make it any different from somebody picking up their phone. Like, you're still in the beauty realm. That's where you were. That's where you are, beauty and lifestyle. And you're trying to integrate on TikTok mess. Not to necessarily bring relevance, because, I mean, like, you're Jackie Aina, but, girl, the blockation shit happened months ago. I just find it weird also, like, why are you taking time out of your day to do all this? And you're older than all the women you're talking about. Like, your algorithm should be shifting to things that matter to you. And if they're on your timeline, then we know what your algorithm is saying, doing, whatever. Like, you're also telling on yourself, sister. Again, though, I think the perception is that, oh, I recorded this high quality think piece, so it's not the same level of me just picking up my phone. And I just want to know, like, what was the goal of that video other than to make money? Like, what was the goal? Like, we know TikTok's gonna go away. We're trying to get people back to YouTube. We want people to go back to YouTube. Are you about to be doing think pieces on YouTube? Like, I thought you used to criticize businesses, beauty brands, you know. It just came off very ugh. Also, you're a grown-ass woman name-calling somebody. Well, saying they look like somebody else. Like, be a grown-ass woman and just say that person outright. Like, you're not getting any cookie points because you said, I'm not going to name the person, knowing your comments were going to dissect and figure out who you were talking about. Having balls would have been just saying her name, saying their name. Since you want to be in the mess, say their names.
I just watched Jamila and Mecca podcast clip of them reacting and responding to the Super 5 claims of being bullies from Jackie Aina and all that mess that's been going on and drama. And I just have to say, a lot of people are up in arms about their reaction and saying that they're mean girls, they were passive aggressive, this, that, and the other. And I did not get that at all. I watched that and I was like, okay, they're acknowledging that she feels a type of way and they're saying I'm sorry for that, but at the same time, like, this is where I was coming from and I know people hate and I'm sorry, but here we go with the but I think sometimes it's necessary. Like, you need to add context to things. You can't just be like, you can't expect the world to just run off of like one sentence. Like, you need conversation, and I think that's what this whole thing boils down to, is this all could have been a conversation just between Jackie, Aina, and those 5 creators, and that wasn't the case. And so Jackie, Aina got on the internet and started calling them bullies and a ton of stuff, talking about them, and then they respond and are expected to be like, oh, but you know what, you're right. Like, why? I don't get it. Maybe it's deeper than what I know, but I don't understand why. But like, okay, both sides had things to apologize for, and I think the way they reacted was just they were indifferent towards the situation. They're like, this is stupid, and I don't think this needs as much energy as people are giving it. And that's how the apology came off to me, and I see no issue with that. But I mean, maybe I'm not the person to talk about this because I don't have the same experiences as them, but I really don't think it's as big a deal as people are making it out to be. I think both sides could have done things differently. I think both sides could have just come together, had a conversation, and done it off social media, but then they did, and there can be critiques given to both parties, and that's just what it is.
Jackie, girl, she upset me with this one. I'm so sorry, because her with this whole Super 5 thing, one thing about me is I'm the type of person, if somebody is coming at me in a way I don't like, we're not pulling punches. And I feel like she took a very well with me approach, and I don't like that. And then calling them serial yappers and people running with that's not a gotcha moment. And they're getting paid to be serial yappers. Exactly. No skin off their back, getting paid. And y'all are serial commenters. What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, the amount of money you make, you have a fragrance line in Sephora, and you're so worried about what a serial yapper is doing on TikTok. Girl, it's not cute. That's not cute. You should approach it like, my bag is too big to even address that. I'm rich. I'm literally rich. I'm rich. Why would I ever talk? I'm rich. I don't care what they got going on. That's what you should have did. And instead, that's the reason that you supposedly don't remember their names, because you didn't want to give them a platform. I just don't like it. I don't like it. Talking about you had this girl blocked for months before she even knew she had you blocked. But now you addressing her. Get out of here. And I just didn't like the people that were like, they're bullies. They're just yappers and bullies. Okay, yeah, they do yap, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what half the people on TikTok do. If you're not yapping, you're making a skit. You calling them they're just skit makers? What are we talking about? Bullies. I'm like, I followed Alexis and Mecca the longest of those 3. Mecca gets on here, she will literally be like, my father was a Black Panther. That's not exactly right, I don't think, but it's something along those lines. And y'all will scream in her face that she's not Black. Scream in her face. She'll be like, oh, no, actually, both of my parents are Black. I'm just light-skinned. No. That's how y'all act. And she has to, like, I don't think she does anymore, but every now and then she's like, y'all, hello, I've been told you I'm Black, hello. Alexis will get on here, and her hair will be done 20 days in a row. She could be on her way to the appointment with a ponytail in. And y'all will scream in her face and talk about, I thought your hair was always done. What happened? She could be like, I'm literally in the parking lot. Like, what? She'll talk about her weight loss journey. I'll be like, well, you're still not skinny. You're still not the itsy bitsyest spider. And she'll be like, I never said I was. I said, but I'm cute, though. I said I'm cute, and I'm proud of my weight loss. And y'all still want to jump down her neck because she's happy with her life, happy with her looks. Y'all don't think that's weird? And that's the thing. Once again, it's just like the comparison to me is just so wild for Jackie to get on here and be like, well, these girls are bullying me. I don't know. I don't know. I just thought it was weird because those girls are also bullied, and you're making like 10 times more than they're making. And I just feel like, get off social media and get on a flight and leave. I just feel like y'all not doing the right rich people stuff. You're not doing the right rich girl thing. If I was getting bullied on social media and making that much money, I would have been like Super 5 because I took 5 flights. I'm in 5 countries. You know what I'm saying? Like, she not eating. You didn't eat it up. And because you didn't eat it up, it made you look bad. I didn't like that. I just feel like if you're going to come at it, you got to come. I don't know. I'm just not a pull punches type of person. And I just think the woe was me was not cute. And saying it was age. What did she say? Age shaming. Girl, if you're 40, you're 40. What are we talking about? How can you shame me when I am 40? It was ugly. And it wasn't giving loud luxury to me. It wasn't giving I steam my linens. I didn't like it.
So this whole fiasco with Jackie, Aina, and the Super 5 is one big recreation of the movie Mean Girls, and I'm so sorry if somebody has the exact same take as me. Y'all can just block me, because I receive the message when it comes to commentary content, okay? I honestly don't think that commentary, think piece content was supposed to last past 2020 when we were all cooped up in your house and you seeing your favorite creator go off about a silly topic felt like two girls chatting over margaritas and tacos. I don't think it was supposed to last like over 4-5 years, especially well into real life. Because here's the thing, once you reach a certain amount of followers, I feel like it's pretty natural for people to put you on a pedestal, even though it shouldn't be. But when we're talking about that girl who was crashing out and making videos about getting blocked by the Super 5, whole time she's the girl who coined the phrase. She obviously puts these creators on a pedestal. Now, when you're talking about Jackie Aina, who was like the OG influencer of sorts, you know, I feel like people's whiplash reaction was to criticize her or say that she's a bully, not just because of ageism, not just because of colorism, because those two definitely played a part, but also because people put her on the pedestal. But I also think now when you have a group of friends who are all on the same pedestal, it's really hard for it to not feel like bullying when it's friends who are coming to defend each other. Here's the thing, I'm never going to put my friends on Front Street on the internet, because there's no nuance here. I'm always going to defend them in public and criticize them in private, especially on the internet. But like, you cannot make commentary, think piece content without owning being a mean girl. It's very hard for you to make that type of content and still try to come forth as like, oh, like your internet bestie or like the girl next door. You really just gotta own like being a Wendy Williams or a Joan Rivers, because once you get that follower count, just like how a comedian, once they reach a certain status, it's very tricky to figure out how to punch up instead of punching down. Jackie Aina is like the Regina George. And then the Super 5, they're Gretchen. And we are all Janice. But at the end of the day, we're all mean girls.
Am I the only one that thinks that there's no statute limitations on talking about something that hurt your feelings or bothered you? For example, if someone came on here and talked about how their high school bully is now making TikToks and they told their experience with them in high school, we would all be supportive of whatever they went through, regardless that it happened 10 plus years ago. So what's the difference now? I think that we can all agree that you have the right to address disrespect in whichever way makes the most sense for you. And the apology for that disrespect should be as loud as the disrespect was. Now, before you come in my comments attacking me, this is my opinion. This is how I feel that situation. I am participating in Yap Talk, so how I feel is how I feel.
Because there were so many unserious takes about this Super 5 thing, it never really dawned on me about how serious it could be for Mecca and Jamila. And listening to Jamila speak on the most recent episode where they addressed the Jackie Aina situation was super powerful, because she offered a very fresh perspective for me, right? Because I think that the more we consume on TikTok, a lot of times things that are very serious can seem just like, oh girl, whatever, just get over, let's move on. But when you have a creator with 3 million followers who makes a video about how you're just a mean, nasty person, and you already have a huge platform yourself where you're getting these huge opportunities. They just dropped a podcast that is doing very well. I didn't think of it like that, right? I just thought, oh, they're gonna do some back and forth and then it's gonna be over. It's not that serious. But Jamila breaking down who she is, where she's come from, how hard she has worked, how long she has been on YouTube. Mind you, when I saw that hot Cheeto Puff meme come up, that's when I was like, is that Jamila? You know what I'm saying? But listening to her say, like, girl, I am this, and that. Do not reduce me. Do not start this erasure of who I am because your feelings are hurt. And I think that is very valid. But I don't know, that podcast, I love Mecca and Jamila's podcast, but this episode specifically, it really made me like respect them even more because they're not just yappers. They're not just people who come on here and run their mouth. These are hardworking women building a platform that will change their lives, much like everybody else on here on this this app who are trying to change their lives. And I think that when you have, no shade to any other creator, when you have large creators who are upset because they can't use their platform to, jab at people, unfortunately, that's just how it is. You have a large platform that could encourage people to dogpile, and you also have a large platform that could take away from somebody else's table. So yeah, I loved listening to that. Sending much love to Jamila and Mecca, but especially Jamila, because listening to her talk really made me realize like she was very hurt by that, and very valid. But yeah, y'all go catch up and listen to Unhinged tomorrow. Bye.
I honestly do not think anyone is wrong in this situation. I think that this is actually a perfect example of most things in life can be fixed by a conversation, because I think that this entire thing is just a huge misunderstanding that happened because of people misinterpreting messages. But let's get into it. I'll give you a spark notes of the entire situation. I watched Jackie's 8-minute video, and I also watched the podcast episode that Jamila and Mecca just dropped. So to just give you the overview of what happened. So early this morning, late last night, Jackie Aina, beauty guru influencer, we all know her, most love her, she posted this video pretty much saying that she usually doesn't get into a lot of discourse and conversations, which she does. She just does it in a very different way than I would say that, this new wave of commentators do. She pretty much said that the conversation that's happening right now about the Supreme Super Five, like the Black known commentators, is really interesting because she actually hasn't had the best experience with them. And she specifically called out one of the content creators that looks like Taraji P. Henson. And a lot of people have said that Jamila resembles her. So obviously, instantly people knew who she was talking about, and she pretended like she didn't know her name. It's Jamila, and that's pretty much the context. She said that Jamila pretty much at first made a video showing like support about Jackie Aina during the whole Blockgate situation. And Jamila in that video, she was obviously like standing Jackie Aina. You could tell that she has been a fan of Jackie Aina. She even said it. But Jackie accused her of then making a video and saying, oh, I was blocked or whatever, and kind of adding fuel to the fire. And Jackie's like, but what she didn't tell y'all is that she actually had been blocked way before that. And pretty much Jackie said that this group of content creators, they dogpile and they are bullies. And she also did say something about, Mecca and making ageist comments. Oh, and then Jackie also did like accuse Jamila of colorism and pretty much weaponizing the fact that she is light-skinned and that people are just going to believe what she says and categorize Jackie as the big black bad wolf. So following this, there were like a mixture of reactions from people. And one thing that I think is interesting is that, she said that they were bullies because she found out that they were all friends. But I think that it's easy to, paint someone as a bully when you see almost like a coalition of what you perceive as people who come together to talk about you. When Mecca and Jamila, they say that's not the case, but I can understand when you see a coalition of people who seemingly create content, making fun of you, it can come across as bullying because of that imbalance of power. So let's get into what Jamila and Mecca had to say. So they decided to, instead of bringing it to TikTok, they decided to talk about it on their podcast. I watched the entire video and it was very, very in-depth. It mostly was Jamila talking because she really seemed like the main target. You could tell that Mecca was kind of taking this a little bit more lighthearted than Jamila, but Jamila, she was very, very serious. She had her notes and pretty much she felt like this was an attack on her character. More so, she was talking about how she was just really disappointed because, like I said, Jackie was always someone that she looked up to. And she also felt like she had to defend, some of these accusations, such as, the colorism. And she also went into talking about the fact that she didn't purposely, or she doesn't need to, create this narrative that, oh, I hopped on the Jackie Aina blocked me train, because she's like, listen, I have enough clout. But she's like, I don't know when you, like, how am I supposed to know when you blocked me? And that's true. You don't know when someone blocked you. So she very detailed went into, this is what happened. Yes, we made these videos. And I think that she did a good job of taking ownership of, I do come across very harsh. Like, I curse, I use the B word. This isn't, I'm a comedian. And everything's not funny to everybody. So she definitely owned that. Mecca, she also, owned the way that she comes across, and, she wasn't meaning to be ageist. And she also said, I even kind of recanted. And as I've gotten closer to 30, I've been like, you know what? I know where she's coming from, because y'all aren't coming from a good place when you guys are calling her auntie, because that's what, some of the bullying that Jackie said she experienced was about, her comments of, I do not want to be called auntie anymore. Overall, in the end, the lady said that they would love to, resolve this issue, and they are like, we are never going to take anything away from Jackie Aina and just the guru, the trailblazer that she is in the industry. So it ended on a really positive note, and I think that it actually was very, very mature. I think that they were very, it was definitely like a PR type of move. They were focused on, what, we are Black women in this industry. There's not enough of us. We have enough issues. Like, let's not continue this on. So my overall thoughts are that just call it a fair game. Just chalk it up. I think that this is a good example of just people who are just completely, absolutely different. And this is why my grandmother always said, a joke is not a joke unless two people are laughing. And I think that, when you are bidding, you have to, which is like, joking, you have to be cognizant of the fact that not everyone is going to take it as a joke, especially if it is pulling on something that they said was an insecurity. I do think in the original video, of course, Jackie was being shady. I do think that, even though she said she doesn't like to dogpile, it was a dogpiling situation just because they were already under attack. And of course, Mecca and Jamila, they, that's what they do. They are yappers. Of course, they was talking ish. So I think that this is an example of where both ladies, all three ladies, can just say, you know what, we all had wrongs in this situation. Let's make up and make this money. Let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on this entire situation? I hope that they're able to resolve this, because it's just a mess. And remember, y'all, listen, Mercury got her micro braids in. I really think that, like, we just need to maybe get off this app for like 3 to 5 business days.
From this situation, the one thing I'm getting is that there always is going to have to be a golden egg that exists before the wild child exists. And when I say golden egg, think of people like Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Nene Leakes, so that a Rihanna, Lotto, or Kenya or Portia can exist. And I'm saying this because Jackie Aina has taken on what is the strong Black woman trope. And the moment you take that on, you cannot go back. And even if you really, really, really want to, it's just not going to be a thing that audience perceive well. Because when we really look at it, that's people like Nene Leakes and Nicki Minaj, where they have been put on a pedestal, and the moment that they try to humanize themselves, people around them are like, what are you doing? This is not you. While the wild child gets to kind of go half as hard, and it's not a bad thing that they get to go half as hard. It's just because the person who paved the way, pushed all these things, and did it without any backlash already did it. So now that they've set the tone, you get to go do what you want to do. It's like the first sibling and then the second child. And when the first sibling or the golden egg gets jealous or has the sort of insecurity when it comes to the wild child, they create what becomes an imbalance. And if that is done externally, we get the Jackie and Jamila, Mecca, and Super 5678 situation. And the biggest thing I've been seeing from this situation is that Jackie just wants community. Not only does she want community, she wants to be able to be vulnerable. And she wants to be able to be vulnerable without there being a huge backlash behind it. Even when she talked about the whole thing about being an auntie and that being something that she didn't like, because
that put her on a pedestal. It golden egged her. It made her separate from everybody else. It became a laughing stock of the viewers, because it's like, we only know you as one thing. We know you as this person who was pioneered, as this person who was the first. And when you kind of see somebody as the first, you kind of age them. And sometimes the strong black woman golden egg can also be pushing that same agenda and not realizing it. Because in all honesty, you don't want to be as humanized as the wild child, because the wild child also has to live the reality of being the wild child. The wild child doesn't go as hard. So the wild child is really treating this like, I don't really care. Like, I can lose all this and still be good, because my life is relatable. My life is a reflection of what my viewers are watching. Jackie, Beyonce, and all those people, their lives aren't that. It's very abnormal. It's very polished. It's very clean. And so the clean human has to exist for the wild child or the less polished human to exist. And I probably sound a little crazy right now, and sound like I'm saying a whole bunch of hoopla, but I think I've been seeing the same take on this situation, when in all honesty, I think this is just a reflection of somebody who had to be the first to do everything, seeing those that don't really have to go as hard, who have such a playful and enticing and relatable aura that I don't think Jackie will ever be able to fully express. So yeah.
This has sparked mixed reaction, because there are Jackie Aina lovers who are always going to defend Jackie Aina no matter what Jackie Aina does. They are not going to take a Jackie Aina slay. And you have the other fractions of individuals who could care less about Jackie Aina or whatever it is that Jackie Aina is doing. They could care less. But you that watch, what were your thoughts about all of this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.